The fluorescent lights of the office felt a little too bright today. I was staring at my monitor, trying to reconcile a spreadsheet error when Nick walked over. He didn't lower his voice. In front of the entire marketing pod, he leaned over my desk and said, "You are the dumbest employee I have ever seen." The silence that followed was deafening. My face went hot, a stinging mix of shame and anger rising in my chest. I couldn't even look up as he turned on his heel and walked back to his glass-walled office. I felt small, like the air had been sucked out of the room. A few minutes later, I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Chris. He pulled up a rolling chair and sat down next to me, ignoring the awkward glances from our coworkers. "Hey," Chris said softly, his voice steady and kind. "Don't let him get in your head. You aren't dumb. Honestly, you're unique. You see things the rest of us miss, and that's why you're here." I took a shaky breath, the lump in my throat finally loosening. "He shouldn't have said that," I whispered. "No, he shouldn't have," Chris agreed. "But his lack of professionalism doesn't define your intelligence. Let's look at this project together. I bet we can solve it with that unique perspective of yours." Over the next hour, the sting began to fade. Chris didn't just offer platitudes. He offered a partnership. We found the error a tiny glitch in the source code that Nick himself had overlooked. By the time the sun began to set over the city's skyline, I realized something important. A boss might have the power to give orders, but they don't have the power to define who I am. I wasn't just another employee in a cubicle. I was someone with a specific set of talents, backed by a friend who knew the value of a kind word. I closed my laptop, stood up a little taller, and headed for the elevator, leaving Nick's insults behind in the dark office.